week 12 of the fantasy baseball season. And here's a few hitters I look to sell and trade this week. The first guy, Michael Harris of the Atlanta Braves. So Michael Harris, the first 7-8 weeks of the season, he really didn't do much. But now he's really turned things on over the last few weeks. But we don't know what Michael Harris we're going to see when it's all said and done, the numbers this season. So on the year, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, 23 runs scored, a 249 average, and a 306 on base. So right now, a week and a half ago, Michael Harris, he was hitting 180, and all of a sudden he caught fire the last 2 weeks as Harris. 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 440 batting average, and a 442 on base with 10 runs scored. So right now he's showing power. Batting ninth in this Brave lineup all season, but he's definitely bringing it right now for fantasy owners. But like I said, I don't know if he's going to continue this rate. Here's Michael Harris. After the horrible start he got off to June 14th at Detroit in a doubleheader, 4 for 8, a homer, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored, a stolen base. June 15th versus the Rockies, 1 for 4. June 16th in that one versus the Rockies, 1 for 3. June 17th versus the Rockies, 1 for 3 with a rib. June 18th, a monster game, 5 for 5, a homer, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. And June 20th at the Phillies in that one, 1 for 4. So right now, he's playing good baseball as Michael Harris, no doubt about it. He's cutting down on the strikeouts over the last few weeks here. And he's showing the power again, because last season was a great year for Harris, where the Braves obviously gave him that 8-year contract, run 19 and 64 and 20 stolen bases. But right now, I like what I'm seeing from him, but I don't believe he could go from doing nothing the whole season and just like that flip the switch. So right now, while he's on fire, is Harris. This is a perfect time to sell him high. I'm not going to just dump him off for anything, obviously, but he's just been a weird player so far this season with doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, the stats catching up of late. The next hitter is Christian Walker of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Christian Walker this season, a pretty solid year, no doubt about it. 15 home runs, 49 RBIs, 40 runs scored, a 272 average, a 336 on base. And over the last 2 weeks for him, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, 7 runs scored, a 346 average, and a 407 on base. So the thing with him, I know he's definitely a legit power hitter, but the batting average this season, 40 points higher than it is usually throughout Christian Walker's career. So once again this year, looks like he's going to hit 30 home runs. But like I said, the average is inflated, no doubt about it, of late for Christian Walker. And we know he's a high strikeout guy. So the last few games from June 15th versus Philly, 0 for 4. June 16th versus the Guardians, 2 for 4 in RBI. June 17th versus the Guardians, 2 for 4, a homer, 2 ribs. June 18th versus the Guardians, 2 for 3, a homer, 3 RBIs. And June 19th at the Brewers in that one, 2 for 5, a run and a rib. And June 20th at the Brewers again, 1 for 4. So right now he's finding power, no doubt about it. Here's Christian Walker with 3 home runs in the last 8 ball games. But I don't think he's going to continue with this rate with the average. And just like any other power hitter, there's times he's going to go into a slump and it could last long. So right now, while he's playing great baseball and on fire, this is a perfect time to sell him off this week. And I think you could get a decent starting pitcher in a deal. The next hitter, Christopher Morel of the Chicago Cubs. So Morel, it's been an up and down. First 100 plus at-bats for him in the major leagues. He got off to a roaring start with 8 home runs in his first 9 games. Then he fizzled out. And now over the last 2 weeks, he's found the power stroke once again on the year. 13 home runs, 29 RBIs, 27 runs scored, a stolen base, a 289 average, and a 344 on base. So right now, Morel, last season he had 379 at-bats and already only 117 at-bats. He's already got 13 homers, so he's showing a lot of pop, is Morel. The last 2 weeks, like I said, he's been back at it. 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. 9 runs scored with a 333 average and a 375 on base. But last season, the batting average obviously was low for Morel, 235. This year, hitting 290. And he's just a streaky hitter right now. We saw him go for 2 or 3 weeks with not doing much, and then all of a sudden, catching fire again. June 15th versus the Pirates, 3 for 3, a run, 2 RBIs. June 16th versus the O's, 3 for 5, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. June 17th versus Baltimore, 0 for 3. June 18th versus Baltimore, 1 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs. June 19th at the Pirates, 0 for 4. And June 20th at the Pirates in that one, 0 for 3. So right now, he's showing some power in the last week. Here's Morel. The batting average has gone up, but he's got great versatility as well, which could help fantasy owners deal him off and sell him high, qualifying at second, third, short, and outfield. So right now, I don't buy all this power from Morel, especially that he's got 13 home runs in 118 at-bats. I think he's going to slow down once again. And we've seen it already, peaks and valleys with his game. So right now, while he's back on a hot streak, he's a hitter I will sell this week. The next hitter, Justin Turner of the Boston Red Sox. Justin Turner up there in age, late 30s, obviously, but he's still going out there and producing for fantasy owners. And the Boston Red Sox here, ranked 76th on the season. And his numbers on the year, 10 home runs, 37 RBIs, 41 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, a 277 average, and a 352 on base. But the last couple weeks here, Turner's been tearing the cover off the ball. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 9 runs scored, a 320 average, and a 358 on base. I know Turner's a veteran in this league. I know he's had great seasons under his belt, especially with the Los Angeles Dodgers last 5-6 years. But right now is going to be a time where I think Turner might get injured, and we actually have seen it over the last few seasons. Him with 1 or 2 IL stints. So right now, while he's playing good baseball, and he's been a mainstay in this lineup, batting second or third, a big piece for this Red Sox team. He's a perfect sell-high guy this week. June 14th versus the Rockies, 1 for 4, a run and a rib. June 16th versus the Yankees, 3 for 5, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 3 runs scored with a grand slam, headlining that one. June 18th in a doubleheader versus the Yanks, 2 for 9 with a run and a rib. And June 20th at the Twins in that one, 1 for 3 in that ball game. So right now, Turner playing good baseball, showing power, and like I said, he's got a big role in this offense, batting second or third most nights for this Red Sox team. So right now, while he's playing good and he's 100% healthy, is Turner. It's a perfect time to sell him this week. In the 5th and final hitter I look to sell and trade this week here is Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know he's on the list last week, and I'm going to put him back on it once again this week. Here's Carroll. But I think you could get a boatload in a deal for him. That's the difference, a good starter and a bat in a deal. On the season, he's ranked 5th in fantasy baseball, and he's really having a great season. 16 home runs, 40 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, already 55 runs scored, a 304 average, and a 386 on base. But the last 2 weeks here, he's really going at it. 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 17 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, a 373 average, and a 439 on base. So right now he's going out there and playing great baseball here is Carroll. But I don't know if he's going to finish the season as a top 5, top 10 guy. So right now, while he's playing out of this world and putting up huge stats, like I said, you could sell him off, and you most likely could get 2 players in a deal here for Carroll. So June 16th versus the Guardians, 2 for 5 a rib. June 17th versus the Guardians, 1 for 4 a homer, 2 RBIs. June 18th versus the Guardians, 1 for 5 a run. June 19th at the Brewers, 1 for 4 a homer, an RBI, 2 runs scored. And June 20th at the Brewers in that one, 1 for 4 with an RBI. So right now playing great baseball, no doubt about it. Here is Carroll. He's a guy I would sell high this week, but you got to get great value to make this sell-off of Carroll on your team. So that's a few hitters I look to sell and trade here in week 12 of the fantasy baseball season.